Ace time. Ace time. Ace time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna let y'all get up in here real quick. Hey, hey, we in there like swimwear. We in there like, hey, man, let's go. We here. We in the chat now. Like we in the chat now. Like it's we in there right now. We in there. Ain't no more games being played. Ain't no more games being played. We in there. We in the field. We live. So I know y'all live. Man, make sure you hit that like button when y'all come up in here. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. Hey, what? Hey man, say man, hey man, say man. The Texans are here, man. Hey, it's going down. Kansas City, Texas. H town, H town, H town, Chiefs down already. I like that one. Hey, H town, Chiefs down already. Make sure you hit that like button when y'all come up in here. Make sure you hit that like button when you come up in here. And I don't care, cause I agree with you. I agree with you about the offense. I agree. Cause I would say the same thing, but right now I don't give a damn. Like right now, I truly don't give a damn. Right now, in this moment, I don't care. Now, maybe tomorrow, I might actually feel a little bit differently. I probably will feel a little bit differently. But hey, what a win! What a win! What a win! What a win! Hey man, make sure that like button when y'all come up in here. Hey, hey, bro, what a win! What an absolute performance by that defense. That is hands down the best defense in the league, dog. Like hands down the best defense in the league. And the thing is, they did exactly what I said they do. My apologies, I wasn't able to do a live on Friday. I normally do a pregame live. I wasn't able to do a live on Friday. I had some family situations. I had some family stuff, so I wasn't able to do a live on Friday because I wasn't at home. I wasn't home because that's much stuff going on, so I wasn't able to make it and do it. Do a video live Friday. So I'm gonna just wait till Sunday night. And I'm gonna just do one after the game like I normally do. So my apologies to y'all that I wasn't able to do a live on Friday. I will be back doing one this coming up Friday. But anybody that's part of the Discord, I've been saying it all week. So if you're part of the Discord, shout out to everybody be part of Discord. You know what it is. I've been saying this exactly all week. I've been saying this exactly all week. Especially to the two people in the Discord specifically, Q and also Swisher, because they both asked me what are the keys to the game for the Texans. How can the Texans win? What are the keys to the Texans win? I said they need to get pressure on Mahomes. And it doesn't have to be sacks. I don't need. I mean, yeah, sacks are great, and that's awesome. You're able to able to get a 7-yard loss, 10-yard loss, 15-yard loss. Those things are great. I'm not saying that those are not important. Those are great. But I need pressure on him to feel uncomfortable for him to be rushing his throws, playing sporadically, playing erratically, playing in chaos, and give that football up. 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions. Because I said that. I said he does that. He's going to give up 3 interceptions. You know, in this game, CJ had 8 straight incompletions. He had 8 straight incompletions in the third quarter. That was the longest streak out of any quarterback this season of that many straight incompletions. He came into that third because he didn't complete a pass in the third quarter. Had 8 straight incompletions in the third quarter. Do you know in the fourth to end off the game, Mahomes ended up having 9? CJ had the longest active streak in 8 in the third quarter of the NFL. Patrick Mahomes ended up having it in the fourth quarter, had 9. Because of the way that this defense was putting pressure on the Kansas City offense, on Patrick Mahomes specifically, and they wasn't able to come up with the football. And what did he do? He gave it the football 3 times. He threw 3 picks. Throwing in bad decisions, making bad decisions, throwing in bad areas, rushing the pass, receivers dropping passes, dropping first downs, dropping touchdowns, things of that nature because of the pressure that you put on Mahomes. You go back and look at when he lost in post-game season, and when he lost, no, I don't care, because people lose in regular season games all the time, but the times that he has lost in the postseason on the biggest stage in both Super Bowls against Tampa and against Philly, the same thing happened in both games. He got pressure put on him. He wasn't comfortable. He was playing sporadically. He wasn't comfortable. He was throwing the football all over the yard, not in a good way, not throwing up and down the yard and getting 400, 500 yards, just throwing it all over the place, getting sacked and getting interceptions. And I said that this week, this game right here for Kansas City is a playoff game for the Kansas City Chiefs. This game right here is a playoff game for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, again, I think they're actually going to go off and win the next remaining 4 games. And will that get them in? I don't know, because now they have lost the tiebreaker to Buffalo, Kansas City, and the Texans. Y'all can't say. I mean, Buffalo, Jacksonville, and also the Bills. Because now, especially what's happened with Indy, I think both us and Jacksonville are going to get into the playoffs. Now, who wins the division, that's remained to be seen, because as of right now, the Jacksonville have a game lead on the Texans on the division. So who wins the division, that will be remain to be seen in these next 4 games. But when it comes to Kansas City, it don't matter who wins the division. Because either way it go, they've lost the tiebreaker. And because of what happened with Indy and Daniel Jones is not going to be playing. Daniel Jones will be out for the rest of the season. They're not the only team that they have the tiebreaker on is probably going to be not even involved because they lost their quarterback. So they've lost the tiebreakers to both the Texans and the Jags. They also don't have the tiebreaker to Buffalo. Now, the Chargers are above them still in the playoff standings. So, hey, it remains to be seen what happens because they still have to play the Chargers. So, again, if they can do what they do, they can maybe overtake the Chargers and potentially get in and squeeze in that 7th spot. So, there is a chance and opportunity for them to squeeze in that 7th spot. So, we'll see exactly how that end up working, if they can happen to squeeze in and get to that 7th spot. But as of right now, it's a long road for them. And like I said, this was a playoff type game, a playoff type atmosphere. So since that's the case, they gotta go out there and get it done. And I said the best way to go out there and to stop them is to put pressure on Mahomes, make Mahomes play sporadically, make him play inconsistently, rush the football. If you get sacks, cool. I'm cool with that. But the most important thing was the sacks. It was to make him uncomfortable, to make him have bad throws so you could turn that football away. Because you could sack somebody. Unless it's a 3rd down sack, unless it's a 3rd down sack or a 4th down sack, obviously, you can sack somebody on 1st and 2nd down. Next play, in the 2nd, 3rd down, or even 4th down, they go for it. They can end up going and getting the 1st down. This happened to Kansas City. Pat Mahomes got sacked, and the next play, throw a 50-yard touchdown. Actually, that happened to us against the Chargers, because right before McConkey scored that 90-yard touchdown in the playoff game, we sacked Justin Herbert the play before. Justin Herbert got sacked the play before. Actually, he got sacked back to back. He got sacked on 1st down and got sacked on 2nd down. Back-to-back plays, sack, and then 3rd down was a 90-yard touchdown. So you can sack somebody. So unless it's an actual drive-killing sack, doesn't mean that the drive is going to be over. But an interception, taking the ball away, they no longer have the possession. They no longer have the football, and that's what happened. And that's what I mostly wanted to happen in this game. You put pressure on him. You make him throw the bad footballs, and you go up there, you get the football, especially with this secondary, with Stingley and Lasser and Kamari and Jalen Petrie. 2 of them I talked about just got interceptions in Lasser and Petrie. Stingley didn't get an interception, but hey, Stingley on the last real drive, 4th down, Stingley the one who got that pass breakup. I think what you call it, I think it was Rasheed Rice. I think Rasheed Rice still would have dropped it, but Stingley made sure it wasn't going to be a reception. He went up there, strapped him up. And hey, Kamari came out there. Kamari came out there with a nice play as well. I'm not talking about just the interception. I'm talking about the pass breakup he had in the end zone. Hey, we're seeing elite level defensive right now. And I said this before. If the Texans, instead of the Texans being 3-5 at the time when they were 3-5, if they were like I said, if they were an 8-1 football team, people will be talking about this defense as an all-time defense. And I'm glad that on tonight And then a couple weeks ago on Thursday night game, both of those primetime games, the defense had this a level of performance that they've been having all year long, but even more impressive against those two stars and Justin, not Justin Herbert, but what's his name? Josh Allen. I'm sorry, and Josh Allen, and also in Josh Allen, and also in Patrick Mahomes. The reason why is because the defense had those type of performances against those quarterbacks on these stages. We're going to be the talk of the town. What they're going to be talking about tomorrow when you watch on all the shows, all the sports shows, all the sport podcasts, they're going to be talking about, are the Chiefs done? This Texan defense, and they're gonna be talking about the college football playoffs where it came to Alabama, Notre Dame, and Miami. That's gonna be a whole. They're gonna talk about that. They're gonna talk about that because that came down today. They're gonna talk about this defense, what the Texans did tonight, and they're also gonna talk about, are Kansas City done? Is it over? Is it a wrap? Those are going to be the three big talking points for the next 2-3 days, specifically tomorrow. They're going to be talking about this specifically tomorrow, but they're going to be talking about that for the next couple of days, I feel like. Maybe not the college football playoffs, but they're going to be, for sure, they're going to be talking about, is Kansas City over and done with? Those are going to be the two, they're going to be really big talking points. And they're going to be talking about this level of defense and why we ain't been talking about this defense all year long. Probably because the Texans started off 0-3 and then went 3-5 before they started rolling on the winning 5 straight games. And remember, the last time the Texans started off 0-3, well, not the last time, because last time they started 0-3, they started off 0-4 and then end up only winning 4 games. But the last time they started off 0-3 and then won the next game, like last time they started off 0-3 and then won the next game, rather, which would be their 4th game. The Texans whittled off what, 9 straight wins? In 2018, they went off 9 straight wins. You know, if the Texans went out, the Texans would have won 9 straight games. If the Texans went out the rest of the regular season, the Texans will have matched that and won 9 straight games. They will match their own current win streak. So that means if that happens, if that actually happens, that means twice in this franchise history in what, 6 years? No, 7 years, because 2018. In a 7-year span. In a 7-year span, they have started off 0-3 twice, well, 3 times technically, because they started off 0-3 in 2020. But they will start off 0-3 3 times, and 2 of those times they also wheeled off 9 straight games. Now, one, they immediately got 9 straight games. This one, they won some, lost some, won some, and then start to wheel off 9 straight games if they happen to do that. But right now, we're sitting up here at 8-5 at the 7th seed in the playoffs, with tiebreakers against both the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. We still have got the Chargers left to go. That's why I said a couple weeks ago when I did the playoff video, I did not trust those averages, those numbers that they were just throwing out. I didn't trust those because they wasn't taking into consideration that we played all these teams in front of us. We played them, and also they play each other. So it was also, we could sit back some and watch them fight each other out. Like 2 weeks ago, KC and Indy, we seen them fight each other out. And then we seen tonight, Jacksonville and Indy fight each other out. Like, these teams got to play against each other. And still, some of these teams got to play against each other. Because the Chiefs and the Chargers still got to play against each other. So the New England and the Bills still got to play against each other. Like, these teams still got, Denver and the Jacksonville still got to play against each other. Denver and KC still got, like, these teams are going to be playing against each other. I think the Chargers and Denver still got to play against each other as well. Like, these teams got to play against each other. So again, unless everybody just straight ties, they're going to be winners and losers, and that gives you a chance to even sit back and chill and still happen to move up. And that's what's going to end up happening. I've been sitting up and talking for the past 15 minutes. I didn't even get started to talk about the actual game and got into the numbers because I just so hyped about what exactly happened, what we've been seeing for the last 5 straight games, and what we've been seeing tonight. That this defense is legit. This defense is dominant. This is the best defense I've seen for the Houston Texans, hands down. And this is one of the best defenses I've ever seen. I think that 2000 Raven defense is still a better defense. This defense to me is better. This defense to me is better than the 2015 Broncos defense. And I know y'all. Some people might disagree. I think this defense is better than the 02 Tampa Bay defenses. And those are the three best defenses I've ever seen. The 2000 Ravens, the 2002 Tampa Bay, and the 2015 Denver Broncos. I think this is clearly better than the 2000 Broncos defense. I can hear somebody tell me about the 2002 Tampa Bay defense. I think this defense is better than the 02 Tampa Bay defense. I don't think they're better. I don't think they're better than that Ravens defense because the way that Ravens defense was able to score. That Ravens defense was able to score on their own. Like they win like 3 games without giving up touchdowns, without scoring touchdowns, and was still winning games. Like that Ravens defense, that Ravens defense in 2000 was to me is the all time is the greatest defense because I didn't see the 85 Bears. I wasn't born in '88, so I didn't see the 85 Bears. I could just hear about it. But I seen the 2000 defense, I seen the 2002 Tampa, and I seen the 2015 Denver Broncos. Texas defense is better than at least 2 of them, and the only one I'm not giving at it is the 2000 Ravens. This is better than the Legion of Boom in 2013. This is better than Rex Ryan's 09 Jets. And again, outside the 09 Jets, what all those teams got in common? Super Bowl championships. 2000, the 85 Bears, the 2000, the 2000 Ravens, the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the 2013 Legion of Boom, and the 2015 Denver Broncos. And to be honest, as bad as this offense is, I think our quarterback play, as bad as this offense is better than that 2000 Ravens. It's better than that 02 Tampa Bay, and it's better than that 2015 Denver Broncos. Now, I think the way Russell Wilson and beast mode and stuff played in the 2013 Seattle team, I think offensively they're better. I think offensively they better. And I know that 2000 Ravens team had Jamal Lewis. And was that the year Jamal Lewis ran for 2,000 yards? I can't remember because Jamal Lewis is a 2,000-yard rusher. I don't know if that was the year. I can't remember if that was the year that Jamal Lewis ran for 2,000 yards or not. But I still think that offensively is far short because at least from the quarterback standpoint, that is better. Now let's get into the numbers. So Texans win 20-30. CJ was 15 of 31, only 48.4 completion percentage, 203 yards, no interceptions, a touchdown, no turnovers on the day. Damn, I forgot to list Woody's numbers. I think Woody had like 70 yards rushing. My apologies. I forgot to put Woody Marks rushing numbers in. My apologies. But also had a receiving touchdown. Had 9 receptions for a touchdown. My apologies. I forgot to put down Woody's rushing yards. Dari carried the football one time for 5 yards and a rushing touchdown because Woody went out with like a shoulder situation, put Dari on the goal line. Dari's able to get in and get a rushing touchdown. Nico targeted 8 times, had 4 catches for 121 yards. Nico had 103 yards in the first half. I thought, though, it's like I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was gonna be one of the performances when Nico had 200 yards because Nico had 2 huge. Woody had 68 yards. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it. Woody had 68 yards. Definitely appreciate that. 26 carries. Hey, man, appreciate that. 26. Woody Morris had 26 carries for 68 yards. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate that. Like I said, my apologies. Normally, I already have it written down when I come in for the live. My apologies. I was just so hyped, I missed it. Like I said, I thought Nico was gonna have a 200-yard performance. I after that second catch when he had 2 catches for 99 yards, I'm like, oh, well, it was like what, like 11 minutes in the second quarter. I said, oh, this is gonna be one of them games with Nico because he got 2 huge catches, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna catch some big catches later on. He gonna have a 200-yard performance. They defense clamped things up in the second half. Higgins, I feel like I'm saying that. I feel like not a broken record, but I keep on saying this week in and week out. Now, I feel like this is like the most impressive I've seen out of Higgins. Higgins was again, and it's really nothing. Higgins was targeted 5 times, had 3 catches for 34 yards. But bro, 2 of his catches were huge first downs. And the first catch should have been the first down. It was an incredible effort. He stepped out, and I was irritated with the offense because it looked like they inspired. It looked like they spied it wrong, and then they end up giving them the first down. But the offense just sit there instead of just rushing. And they like, wait, well, he might have stepped out, and then they went back and said he stepped out and it was wrong, and they end up giving us the end up making the short the first down. But I was mad that the offense wasn't going out there to like I said, like hurrying up. Like my issue with them last week going into halftime, and I said if you do that against Kansas City. And thing is, they didn't do that because when they got the football back with less time and less timeouts, they realized the error of their ways, and you seen that they had and they moved. They were moving with urgency. They were moving with like, hey, we're not going to just sit there just like again. The clock ended up running out, but that one at least it wasn't for a lack of trying. Like they didn't just sit on their hands and just sit like that. Speaking of sitting on your hands, man, I'm sitting on a whole bunch of people in here. But the likes ain't going. We still sitting on the same amount of likes. Man, hit that like button. Hit that like button. The Texans won tonight. We have a winning record. We're 7th in the playoffs. Man, hit that like button. Not to mention, we went in on the prime time and beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Dalton Schultz targeted 4 times, had 3 catches for 22 yards. Jalen O targeted twice, had 2 catches for 12 yards. Like I was saying about Higgins, my apologies. Like, but the second time, his second catch was CJ was just trying to get out and just end up just throwing the football. I think it was like 3rd down, and he catches it and moves and gets the first down. I'm like, hey, good, get the first down. And then on that last drive, when we were in field, when we were in the last scoring drive, touchdown drive rather, we were in field goal range, and it looked like he was about to take the sack. It looked like he was about to take the sack, and CJ scrambles out and throws the football and finds Nico right there. I said Nico, but find Higgins right there and gets the first down. I'm like, hey, Higgins is coming up clutch tonight. Higgins is coming up clutch tonight. Again, not nothing flashy. I ain't like he had a 100-yard performance and a touchdown, stuff like that. Not the eye-popping numbers, obviously, no. But he's coming up clutch the last 3 weeks. The last 3 weeks. And really, maybe the last 4 weeks. I think that Tennessee game, I seen some things that Tennessee game too. But for sure, especially since CJ's been back the last 2 weeks, he's come up extremely clutch. And I like what I'm seeing out of Higgins. I don't know exactly long term with his Bolstrom. I don't know if he's really a legit number 2 and things like that. But I know for a fact that he is. I know for a fact as of right now, he's stepping into his own. He's coming up clutch, and I'm like what I'm seeing. Now on Kansas City side, Patrick Mahomes was 14 of 33 for 42.2 completion percentage, 160 yards. No touchdowns, turned the football over 3 times. Also ran the ball 7 times for 59 yards. He was the leading rusher. Kareem Hunt carried the ball 12 times, had 30 catches and a touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco carried the ball 9 times for 30 yards. Xavier Worthy was targeted 4 times, had 3 catches for 55 yards. Hollywood Brown targeted twice, had 1 catch for 35 yards. Like I said, they wasn't really. And then they got some Rasheed Rice got some yards in at the end of the game, garbage wise. Like the key to the game was the sack. You had Jalen Petrie from Molasses, and then you also had the sack that completely ended and sealed the game with Aziz Shire. Like I've been saying, that was the key to the game. That was my key to the game the entire week. Put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. That was my key to the game the entire week. Shout out to everybody in the Discord because they know that. They know that's what I've been saying all week. I'll say you got to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. You put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, the Texans should come out there and win this game. Put pressure on him before. Don't blitz. Put pressure on him before. Rush him. I don't care if you get home and get the sack. Yes, when you get the sack, cool. But if you make him throw the football when he's not ready to, you rush him with throwing the football. You make him throw the football quicker than he wanted to. Good things are going to happen for you Because you keep on doing that, you're going to walk away with takeaways. You're going to walk away with interceptions. That's what happened tonight. That's exactly what happened tonight. It was a tremendous defensive performance. Offensively, we need a lot of help offensively. Play calling, again, 26 carries for 68 yards. I know a lot of those yards were good, grinding, tough, rushing yards, and I like that. You do need more out of your running game. You would love more out of your running game. These is one of the performances that it was good enough to win tonight. Is it good enough to win week in and week out, week in and week out? I don't know. Rushing the football, offensively in the first half, especially early on, we came out clicking. The Texans came out clicking early on offensively. They was moving and grooving. Like I said, Nico had 100 yards, and he had 100 yards with 11 minutes left in the second quarter. We was up 10-0 at halftime, and then came into the second half. The third quarter was an absolute dud. Like I said, CJ had 8 straight incompletions in that half. Was getting pressured, getting sacked, being rushed. They were blitzing nonstop. Like they were blitzing nonstop. And when they started blitzing nonstop and showing that in the Texans offensive line was showing that they couldn't handle the blitz, that they couldn't switch protection, they couldn't handle the blitz, they kept on, and the Chiefs were in it. The Chiefs were in it. The Chiefs were in it. Chris Jones and it was feeling it. They ended up kicking the field goal, ended up getting the touchdown. Oh no, they scored a touchdown first. They got the touchdown, and they're kicking the field goal to tie, and they were in it. They were feeling it. What hurt them for real, was Andy Reid going forward on fourth down. A tied 10 game. The game was tied at 10. This was a defensive game. Because at that time, the Texas offense really wasn't doing anything. Offensively, they wasn't. Offense wasn't doing anything. The only thing they were doing was they moved out of like a danger zone when they were backed up. But they really the offense wasn't doing anything. And them going for it at the time, not getting it. If that wasn't the Stingley one. I don't think that was the Stingley one. But them going for it, not getting it, us getting the football already in field goal range, tied at 10, already in field goal range, and a field goal. The way our defense was playing, we was going to win that game with a field goal. Texas won that. Normally, I'll be like, you got to score. You got to get 7s against a team like Kansas City. You can't get with 3s. If you get 3s, you're not going to win. But the way our defense was playing, the way offensively they were playing, because they were doing exactly what I wanted them to do, put pressure on Mahomes, and after going out there putting pressure on Mahomes and making Mahomes uncomfortable, that they were going to win that game, even with that field goal, even with a field goal. But luckily for the Texans, because CJ got out. CJ was able to get outside. Chris Jones had CJ dead to rights. CJ moved out of the pocket, scrambled up, and caught and looked at Higgins and threw it to Higgins. Higgins caught it. I think that was the play of the game. That was the play of the game, because that right there got them the first down. A couple plays later, Dari scores a touchdown. 17-10, this Kansas City Chiefs team is not moving the football. This KC team is not moving the football tonight. This defense got this team stymied. I say this week in and week out. This defense could do it on any type of front. You want a game when they get a whole bunch of sacks like against the Bills? We got you. You want a game where we get a whole bunch of turnovers like Seattle, like tonight? We got that too. Or like I said, one of my personal favorites was against the 49ers. Y'all ain't moving. Y'all not getting a yard. And that's really what they were doing for the most part of this too. For the most part of this game, they was like, y'all ain't going nowhere. Like that little thing, like when somebody like pushes somebody back, there's like small on them, and they sitting there doing this. They and they just holding them back like this. They just sitting there holding them back like this, and they sitting there swinging. That's that's what we were doing. That's what the defense be doing. That's what they did against the 49ers. That's really what they were doing tonight. Kansas City was just swinging at the air, and they couldn't get that. They couldn't do anything. And then when they thought they landed a punch, the ball was just in the Texans' hands. Like that, they were just like when they thought they landed the punch, when they thought they was able to land the punch, the football was in their hands. And it could have been some more interceptions, like the one tip pass, like that Mahomes caught himself. That could have been a pick. Like they got away. They got away with a couple picks. And that boy Petrie, man, the way Petrie was hitting people, was it Rasheed Rice who he had laid out, and you might thought Rasheed Rice fumbled the football, but I think they called it incompletion. Like that, like hey. Guardian cap or not, he's still out there. He's still out there laying. He don't care. Again, I think that Petrie is a liability when it comes to the coverage. But we ain't gonna sit up and act like, hey, when it's time to lay down and lay that hit, hey, he a hitman out there. They be want to talk about Aziz. They want to talk about Aziz. No, it's Petrie. Petrie going out there, boy. Petrie going out there to knock somebody out. Petrie going out there to knock somebody out. That's who gonna knock somebody out. It's Petrie. That's who knocking somebody out. It's Petrie. That's exactly who it is. It's Petrie. Petrie out there knocking folks out. Ain't gonna take away the football. Ain't gonna get you an interception. Kamara Lassiter having huge pass deflections and also interceptions when the offense needing the football. When the offense needs the football because we struggling offensively. And hey, defense, hey, we need something good. And now we are starting to see this team actually do something that now the defense doesn't feel like their efforts are in vain. Because early on in the season, to start off 0-3 and then also to be 3-5. For a lot of time, I kept on saying that, hey, a mutiny is gonna end up happening. They're gonna end up between the offense and the defense, a mutiny gonna keep on happening. But we starting to see that we starting to see that we starting to see that hey, they actually starting out there to do a little something offensively, even a little bit much. Again, we are still way off offensively where we want to be. And I'm not even just talking about like just pie in the sky, elite offense. I'm talking about just good offense. Just a good, comfortable offense that you're comfortable with the comfortability. A comfortable offense. We're still not there yet. We're still not there as a comfortable offense. Thing is, in the beginning of the game, thought it was going to be it. Like I say, the way that we was moving the football early on, Nico looking like the best receiver in the league type Nico, when we see the first 5 games of the season last year, when we seen CJ, that's what it would look like early on. It was looking like Nico about to have one type of performance on prime time. That's what it was looking like. It was looking like that. It was looking like Nico about to have one type of performance on Sunday Night Football. Nico about to go out there and have a monstrous type of performance. That's what it looked like. And the Kansas City Chiefs was able to shut that down. I don't want to even say to shut that down. I do think like we just had it was because they were able to put pressure on them themselves were able to put pressure on CJ, but their defense ain't as good as ours. And the thing is, part of the difference is we were just getting 3 and outs. We were just getting 3 and outs and playing the position. Field position, the position of the game. That's what we were doing. The Texans was taking that football away with 3 of them. 3 times they took away the football, and the Texans were able. The most important one was on that last one. They were able to cash in and get a touchdown, and that ended the game because Kansas City offensively wasn't good enough. Kansas City offensively was not good enough to do anything. They weren't good enough offensively to do anything. after really at any juncture of the game. Even the 10 points that they got, they wasn't good enough offensively to get. It wasn't good enough to do anything. And because since they weren't good enough to since they weren't good enough to do since they weren't good enough to do anything, they couldn't afford to turn the football over. They did 3 times, and the Texans were able to cash it in. And like I said, that I think a field goal in that spot would have ended the game anyway, and you would have won the game 13-10. It was going to be over with any points, and you were able to get a touchdown. You were able to get a touchdown. Well, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. The touchdown came off of going for a fourth down. The field goal came off of Aziz. The field goal that made the game completely out of reach came after Aziz. My apologies. I forgot. Yeah, they went from fourth down. We stopped them. Then we went from they went from fourth down. Stopped them. We went down there, scored because we was in field goal range, and that's when we got to play. End up scoring a touchdown. They end up driving. We kick they and then what you call throws the football. Well, I think they got the football back with 3 minutes left. They threw an interception, and then we end up draining out the clock and giving them football with 30 seconds left. Like we were able to go out there and milk the clock and keep possession away from them. And again, offensively in the second half, we didn't play well. We didn't play well. First half, I think we played a great brand of football, both offensively and defensively. In the second half, we didn't. And I know on that last drive, we would just run the football with Woody Marks, and we were I wouldn't say conceding, but we were basically saying that, hey, like we're not going to turn the football. We're not going to put the football in harm's way. We're not going to turn the football over. We're going to go out there and chew up some clock, and then kick a field goal and make it a 2-possession game with no time. They don't have no timeouts. So I understand that stance. So I'm not talking about that last drive. That last drive, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. Anything else would have been uncivilized. Anything else they would have did would have just like if they would have been out there just trying to throw the football all over the yard and try to put points. But I know some people probably want that. Like y'all like, man, blow them out, man. Hey man, go up there and be 24-10. Yeah, but then if a ball gets tipped up and then boom, somebody gets ran back, good field position, he ran all the way back for a touchdown. Now we up here tied and going to overtime when we could have just milked out this clock and go home. Milk out the clock and go home either 2010 or 17-10. It didn't really matter because you were going home with the dub. So you should put the football in there. So put the football in harm's way when you don't need to. So I'm not talking about that drive. Like I said, the other drive came off a short field, which, like I said, was a stupid move by Andy Reid. That was a stupid move by Andy Reid by going for it in that fourth down because at that juncture he didn't need to because it was a tie game. Defensively, the Texas offense hasn't been able to do anything. So defensively, your defense has been holding up. You've been shutting them out the entire second half. So you don't need to go for it. That's Andy Reid being Andy Reid. That's what I was talking. That's Andy Reid being Andy Reid and not knowing. I won't say not knowing, just not really understanding the type of situation they're in because your defense is playing well. Their offense is not moving the football. There's no need for you to go for it on fourth down. No need. There's no need for you. There's no need for you to go for it on fourth down in this juncture because it's a tie game. Now, when they didn't have the lead, though, or when we had the lead, completely different. Completely different. But when you are as a tie game and you're in your own territory, that's not the two. It also been different if you was in our territory, you was in scoring position, and you just because you're trying to get a touchdown to get the dagger because you feel like, hey, if I score here, that's the dagger. That's it. That's the dagger for them. I score a touchdown. They not doing nothing offensively. The game's up. That's a completely different situation versus being in your territory. Their offense not doing anything, and you're going for it on 4th and 4. No, was it? That wasn't the 4th and 4 one. That was the 4th and no. That was the 4th and 4 one. That was when when Aziz had Pat, didn't get him. I think Sheldon Rankins got him a half a yard short, or about a yard short, and they went for it. And they went for it, and they didn't get it. And that was the play when Stingley got the incompletion. When Stingley came in, strapped up, great play by Stingley, by the way. Like, great. I think he would have dropped it anyway, but that still was a great play by Stingley. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Rasheed Rice. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was Rasheed Rice on that fourth down. It was like fourth and two, probably like fourth and 1.5, fourth and two, and throw it, didn't get it. Stingley made a play on Rasheed Rice. Texans have the football and already in field goal range. Now the Texans really just got to take out a lot of this clock, kick a field goal, and the way this Chiefs offense is playing, the way this defense is dealing, they not doing anything. And that was the case. Like I said, CJ made an incredible play. I think the play of the night is on that third down when he's about to get sacked and about to be taken out of field goal range and about to be a punt. He gets out of said sack, runs up, finds Higg, gets the first down. And then now we're draining more first down. Now we're draining more clock. About 2-3 plays later, Dory gets in for a 5-yard touchdown. Great play by Dory. I'm actually surprised they ran the football to Dory too. And maybe that's why they did. Because, Woody goes out with the shoulder. Woody's been the primary back, especially since Chubb got taken out the game. So Woody was the primary back. So since Woody's the primary back, Dory coming in I forgot they said what Dory's stats were this season, like how many carries, because really since early on we haven't really been giving Dory the football again because we realized what we had out of Woody Marks. And they probably seen Dory come out there like, okay, they about to throw it to Nico, they about to throw it to Dalton Schultz, to Higgins. They're gonna throw the football. They're not gonna give the football to Dory. And maybe it was that we caught them off guard. Dory gets in. I wouldn't say walk into it, but Dory got a touchdown easy. Like Dory got that touchdown way easier than I thought it would take for him to get that touchdown. Dory was able to get that touchdown. Now it's a 7-point game. Like I say, offensively, they not moving the football and they can't do anything. They can't do anything. Like I said, the story of the game is that not D'Amico Ryans, but Patrick Mahomes was uncomfortable all night, the entire game. Pat, like if you look at Pat's face, Pat actually had the type of face that I've been fussing about CJ having for the last year and a half. Maybe not disengaged, because sometimes CJ looks like he disengaged. He looks like he want to be anywhere, but where he at, he looks like he want to be anywhere in the world, but the place that he currently is. It wasn't that bad, but it was like, it's not the same like Patrick Mahomes that we've seen when the chips was down. I mean, like they put out a graphic all the time. Mahomes down 24-0. Mahomes down 21-10. Mahomes down 7 with 7 seconds left, and the thing is he wins all these games because he did, and he has that same look on his face. It wasn't the same tonight. It wasn't like that. Can't believe this stuff is going on, but it's game time. This was more so like this is more so like it's not a good football team. That's what he looked like. I think realization has started to reel in that he's not in a good football team. And the thing is, this offense just looked phenomenal last week against Dallas. I know Dallas has a bad defense. Even though they lost the game, the offense looked phenomenal. The offense was moving the ball against Indy 2 weeks ago. Be honest, Mahomes, even though record-wise, This is Mahomes' worst year record wise. Mahomes statistically, if you look at his numbers, Mahomes has been playing like Mahomes. He's actually been playing better than he's played the last 2 years in the regular season. Like he's playing like MVP level Patrick Mahomes as far as his own plays. Statistically, he has, but not tonight. Tonight he looks closer to what we seen in that Tampa Super Bowl and what we seen in that Philly Super Bowl, the second Philly Super Bowl, this past Super Bowl. He looked more to that. Understand they had issues with offensive lineman. They lost an offensive lineman today. Understand all that. That's part of the reason why this defense needed to feast. This defense been looking good all year. So we know it's not, they only looking good because they playing against backup offensive line. The defense been looking good all year long. With all the teams you throw up in their face, the Texas defense has been doing their job all year long. Ain't no excuse for the defense. The defense been playing well the entire season. From week one and against the Rams to currently right now, what is it? Is it week 14? What week is this? What week is this? Week 5th. No, it's wait. It is week 14. It's week 14 because the Texans played 13 games. Texas played 13 games, and we also had bye, so it's week 14. So in 14 games, like in 14 games from week 1 to right now, from week 1 to week 14, this Texan defense has been playing well and been playing elite all year long from week 1 to week 12. I mean week 14. So you can't just sit up and say, you can't just sit up and say that, it's because they're playing against a bad offensive line. No, this Texan defense has been looking legit all year long. Hey, shout out to that. Shout out to that boy Big B 44 for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Ace time. Already. Hey, shout out to that boy Big B for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate that. Has anybody checked on Chris? Like, we need to do. We might need to do a check for Chris. Because Chris been gone for a while now. I know he jumped in, he peeked in, and then peeked out last week. He was tiptoeing in his Jordans. Like he tiptoed last week in and out. And then now, Chris, where you at? One, because Chris, if you're listening, if you're in the chat, you just listen, you're not saying nothing. They've been looking for you, bro. Chris, they've been looking for you. wellness check. You're right, bro. Wellness check. Chris, where you at? I mean, because this is the thing. People was hitting me up after last week. Like after the video, people were hitting me up talking about, hey, where Chris at? Chris, where you at? Like Chris, where you at? Has anybody seen Chris? Like Chris, where you at, bro? Like, cause man, because Chris, thing is though, Chris been trolling all year long. Chris been trolling all year long. Chris been trolling all year long. Chris, where you at, bro? Chris, where you at? Chris been trolling all year long. Like Chris has been trolling the entire year. And now, now we back. Hey, we back up. Hey, we back up, man. We back. We back. We standing on all 10. We here now. Like I said, we into the chat. To be honest, we the reason why they not in the chat no more. Cause they was the 7th seed. Now we the 7th seed, and they the 8th seed. They on the outside looking in. They out the club. We kicked them out. Hey, we had to make room in the club. We like, move, bitch, get out the way. If I see you on the highway, get out of my way. Like that. That's what we did. We move. Wait, we moving. We moving people out the way. Move, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Like we moving people out the way. And you've been talking all year. Chris, where you at, bro? Chris, where you at, bro? Where you at, Chris? Like, Chris, where you at, man? Where you at? 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 Where you at, dog? Where you at? Where you at, big bro? Hey, where you at, big bro? Where Chris at? Chris gone, man. Hey. but shout out Big B for super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. The boy said Money Mills. Why you bring up Money Mills? Money Mills did his job. Money Mills did exactly what a backup needs to do. I say this all the time. If your backup is playing more than, to me, honestly, I really think the cutoff really is 2. The cutoff really is 2. Depending on the time of the season, you can get away. Yeah, but yeah, shout out Chris. Yeah, you're right though. Shout out Chris. Yeah. This is all fun. This is all fun game. Shout out to that boy Chris. If if your backup plays, in my opinion, 2 games or more, if your backup plays more than 2 games, I think you're in the dicey spot. Depending on the juncture of the season, depending on what time of the season. Like if he plays 4 games, if he plays more than 4 games, if it's early on in the season, you could probably weather that storm, kind of like last year with Malik Willis. Malik Willis played 4 games for Green Bay. And the thing is, if you do that, you need to win at least go 500 in those spots or better. So 500. So either go 2-2, 3-1, or 4-0, and you good. The Texans, ours are in the middle, so ours was kinda on the brink, but it also happened at a point in time where we were like Wheeling, like I said, when he steps in, we're 3-5. We're 2 games below 500 when he steps in, and he wins 3 games. The 3 games he went out there, he won his 3 games. So he did exactly what needed to be done. But was he going to be the one to win you games? No. Davis Mills wouldn't have won tonight's game. Davis Mills wouldn't have made the plays tonight to win the game. Maybe the way we played last week against Indy, kind of very similar to that game against Buffalo. He could have won that game. And I know we beat Buffalo with Davis Mills. Yeah, but Buffalo didn't get anything done offensively. Kansas City was able to get things done somewhat offensively in the second half to get it to 10. Davis Mills wouldn't have been able to cash in on that. Davis Mills on that play when CJ got out of the got out, Davis Mills would have got sacked there. Then you would have to punt, and we're probably in overtime. And then who knows if something bounces wrong or whatever, and you end up losing the game. I don't think that Davis Mills wins tonight's game. You won tonight's game because of the defense and CJ Stroud. Because when I'm gonna put up my poll, so after the live, I haven't put it up yet. I'm gonna put up the poll tonight. So after the live, y'all go look. I'm gonna put the poll up, and I'm gonna have play of the game. I'm gonna let y'all know this right now because normally I'm not saying he should win player of the game, but CJ is going to be one of the players in there. And I'm not just saying it because he's a quarterback. CJ made plays in this game that only CJ Stroud can make. Similar to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes made some plays tonight that only Pat could. Patrick Mahomes made some plays tonight that only Pat can make. Like Patrick Mahomes made some plays tonight that only Pat can make. On some of them, like the one where he was getting face mask, he was able to throw to get first down. Even though I think Patrick Mahomes grabbed, was it Rankins or was it Archery? I don't know if it was Rankins or if it was Archery. But Pat Mahomes had his face mask first. And it should have been an offensive face mask. And then, Pinky swiped it. I swiped it. And then he was able to throw and get a first down. That's a play that only Mahomes can make. There was another play also Mahomes made. Mahomes made some Mahomes-type plays in this game. The Chiefs offensively as a collective wasn't able to capitalize on said things, and the defense as a collective was able to. It was Edwards. Okay, I can't remember who it was. It was Edwards. All right, cool. But like that was a Mahomes type play. CJ, the the two plays to Higgins for first downs. The one that when we was in our own end zone, and he stepped up. He stepped up and threw it, and Higgins catches it and then turns around real fast and falls and gets that first down. That's a play that only CJ can make. And then, like I say, the one that could have costed they could have ended the game. Well, not ended the game, but would have made it. I think, in my opinion, either the game goes to overtime or it's going to be held to a game-winning field goal. When he's getting sacked, when Chris Jones is putting pressure on him, he's getting sacked, and he runs out and runs out the sack. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, he moved off of him. He moved off of Chris Jones. Scrambled up, seen Higgs, threw it to him, and like I said, Higgs did a good job getting open, and he was able to find Higgs. He was able to find the hole in that zone, get the football to him. First down. A couple plays later, Darius scores a touchdown. Those are plays that only your quarterback make. Again, it's not always your quarterback throwing for 250 or 350 and 3 touchdowns. Sometimes it's the little bit things, very similar to the pass rush. It's not always the 4-sack game and 5-sack games and 12 QB hits and 3 tackles for loss and a forced fumble. And yes, those things are great. Not saying those things are not good. Those things are great. Sometimes it's the little bitty things. It's the putting the pressure on said quarterback, making him throw the ball quicker than he wants to, and it ends up in Petrie's hands. It ends up in Kamari's hands. It ends up in Aziz Shair's hands. Or it's an incompletion on 4th down. Or it's an incompletion. It could have been a touchdown, but it's an incompletion, and now they got to kick a field. Things like that. Those are small things. Same thing with Woody Marks. Again, 26 carries for 68 yards is not nothing great. It's not nothing to write home about. But it's what those yards actually meant. Do I think that Woody Marks is a full-time primary back, even though he carried the ball 26 times a day? No, I don't. I think that the Texans still need to get a primary running back like a Jeremiah Love in the draft. I don't think Jeremiah Love will be available. Who knows? Maybe now since Notre Dame start crying and don't want to play in the bowl game, maybe some of his luster will fall off because that don't think so. I still think Jeremiah Love is going to be. I think Jeremiah Love is going to be a top 7 pick. I think Jeremiah Love has played himself to be that draft pick, and the Texans, we played ourselves to be in the 20s. The Texans are going to be in the playoffs, and the Texans have played themselves to be in the 20s. They're going to be a football team that's going to be drafted somewhere in the 20s. So because they put themselves in said position like that, and then also because because they put themselves in that type of position, and because Jeremiah Love is putting themselves, they basically played themselves out. So the Texans probably have to go out there and get a Justice from Michigan and something like that. Maybe that's somebody else who they can go out there and draft and be able to bring onto the board. But I do think they still need a primary running back to pair up with Woody Marks and actually make this running attack look very potent. You can have something similar to what's going on out there in Detroit with Monty and Jahmyr Gibbs. I think you get something going like that, but I'm still not going to say and take away what he did tonight was impressive, and it was good enough to win in tonight's game. The type of atmosphere, the type of game that you had tonight, it was good enough to win tonight. I don't know if it's good enough to win in the playoffs. I don't know. You might have to come a little bit more with it, but it was good enough to win tonight. Hey, and shout out to that boy Huff. Shout out to that boy Huff 1971 for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Kaylee Sucks still. No, Kaylee Sucks still try to still try tired of the end of the first play. Cowboy disappointment. However, to watch the game in the truck at Patty's in Georgia. Love this defense. Go H-Town. Shout out to that boy Jeff Huff for super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. You out there in Georgia. What am I say about Georgia? Is that North Georgia or South Georgia? I never been there. I ain't never been there. I ain't never been. I ain't never been to Patty's either. Is that that's a truck stop? Or is that a restaurant? Like what is it? I ain't never been to the town or the truck stop or restaurant wherever you were there watching the game. I ain't never been to neither one of them. I ain't never been to neither one of them. But shout out to Jeff Huff for super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Yes, offensively, this I don't want to complain because normally I don't ignore in victory what I would in defeat. And this is not a game where it's like I couldn't believe that we won because I actually thought the Texans are the better team. I actually thought, north of Atlanta. Oh, it's a nice Mexican restaurant. Okay. Okay. North of Atlanta. Nice Mexican restaurant. I'm trying to think. I've been to ATL. Can't stand it. That's bro. The worst traffic I've ever drove in is in Atlanta. Is in ATL. That's the worst traffic. And I've drove in LA. And for people who are not truck drivers, my truck driver people know this, like Jeff, Trill, like my truck, and anybody else who's a trucker, especially if you drive OTR. Like in California, the entire state of California, trucks cannot go past 55. So you have to drive 55 the entire state. It don't matter it don't matter if it say it's 75. It don't matter if the sign say 80. It don't matter if the sign say 85. If you are in an 18-wheeler in the state of California, you cannot go no faster than 55 or else you'll get a ticket. So everybody talks about how bad LA traffic is, especially when you're in a truck and you can only go 55. That traffic is bad. That traffic, to me, can't speak for nobody else, is not worse than being in Atlanta. Being in Atlanta, Georgia. That is the worst traffic I've ever drove in. That's the worst. Bro, I was on the highway for 3 hours. 3 hours to move what? Like 30 miles maybe? 20, 30 miles. Bro, it was something crazy. That traffic was horrific, bro. That traffic was bad. That traffic is bad. That's one of the worst traffics. That traffic was bad. I can't stand that traffic. So hopefully you ain't gotta go to Georgia, especially on Monday through the week. Cause I drove through the week. I drove through there through the week. Hey, hold on, wait, time out, hey, hold on, Chris, my boy Chris is in the building. Hey, shout out to that boy Chris for the super chat love, Chris, boy, where you been? Where you been? We been looking high, we been looking low, bro. Where you been? We been looking for you, bro. I'm trying to tell you, say man. People all week in the live video, the previous live video, posted videos, comment sections, emails, DMs on Instagram, bro. People been looking for you since last week. People been looking for you since last week. Shout out to my boy Chris. My boy Chris is in the building. We just said we just said maybe about 10, 15 minutes ago, we might need to do a wellness check on Chris. Cause we ain't heard from you. You know what I mean? You kind of tipped in a little bit last week. And then you tipped out a little bit last week. You picked in. You didn't even say nothing. You just dropped the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. Always. First off, definitely appreciate the super chat. Always gonna appreciate that. Appreciate that. You dropped in. You didn't even say nothing. You didn't say good game. Or you didn't say I bye. You just said hey, and then jumped out. You jumped in, jumped out. You even introduced yourself. You didn't even introduce yourself. You just jumped in and then you jumped out. You even introduced yourself. So shout out to that boy Chris for jumping back in. Hey, cause people been looking for you, bro. People been looking for you, big bro. We've been looking for you. So hey, shout out to that boy Chris for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Let's see here. Let's see what Chris say. Chris say, please get rid of Jones. He ain't it. Congrats on the win. CJ is a badass quarterback. Are you trying to say he's bad ass quarterback or he's a bad ass quarterback? Like he's like he bad like Michael Jackson bad? Like man, that boy bad. Like he bad or he bad like he's not good. I'm trying to figure out what you mean before I actually give you an answer because I don't want to say one thing you meant the other, and I don't want to say the other when you meant one. Like so, I don't know. So I don't like. Are you saying he bad? Like, hey, that boy bad, or he bad like he's trash, like he's not good, bad, like he's horrible. Like which one? So I don't want to assume. I don't want to get things misconstrued. I don't want to get it incorrect. So hey, let me know. But shout out Chris for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. But you did say I can. You said get rid of Jones. Didn't I? For one, I mean he's going to be out for the season because it's a torn Achilles. So he's going to be out for the season. Uh, he's going to be out for the season. One, two. Y'all put yourselves in a bind because I remember during the trade deadline when y'all gave up 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, and then Dallas gave up a future first round pick, not even this coming up first round pick, gave a future first round pick for Quinn Williams, and they still got 2 first round picks themselves because they got one for the Michael Parsons trade. People were criticizing Dallas and saying how stupid Dallas was, but they were rewarding and clapping for y'all, and I always thought that was wrong because I thought Dallas move, even if it wasn't for this season, was still going to be good for Dallas long term. And this, when it came to y'all, even if it's good for this season, it's not going to be good for y'all long term because now for 2 years, y'all don't have draft capital. That means y'all have to pay Daniel Jones. And what end up happening is Quinn Williams turned Dallas defense completely around that they in the mix. Now, they might not make the playoffs because they lost to Detroit on Thursday, but they are in the mix. They are clearly in the mix. Like Dallas is clearly in the mix right now. And I think they're going to win out, and I think they're going to end up being 10, 6, and 1. It maybe barely missed the playoffs because the NFC is just that good. Like everybody in the NFC got 9+ wins and only 4 losses. Like the NFC is just that good. So they might still miss the playoffs when it comes to Indy. Even before what happened with Daniel Jones, even before what happened last week with Sauce, you seen that Indy, like I said, like when the trade was made, that puts Indy in the bind, even if it banks well this season, unless y'all win the Super Bowl. Like unless y'all go out there and win the Super Bowl, by all means, F them picks, like what you call say, forget them picks. If it comes away with a championship, cool. But I didn't think that was going to be the case. I thought that y'all just get into the playoffs and probably lose first round. You know what I'm saying? On some risk, not even on no AFC South hating the rival type situation. I just never thought that Indy would be a team that's. I think they were good enough to get to the playoffs because their record permitted that. But I didn't think that they were going to do anything long term. And now with Sauce being hurt, and then also now Daniel Jones being hurt, y'all are completely in the bind with no picks to go out there and get a quarterback. Even though I don't really know how good these quarterbacks are in this draft. Like I ain't gonna lie, I don't know really. I mean, I think what's his name, Mendoza from Indiana is probably gonna end up getting the Heisman because it's a bad Heisman year. Notre Dame, if Notre Dame was smart enough to be in a conference, they would have played yesterday and probably would have gotten Jeremiah Love the Heisman. I think them not playing the conference cost them not only a national championship, now also cost them a CFP appearance, also cost them Jeremiah Love getting the Heisman because I think Jeremiah Love, to me, I think is better than the guys who they're going to send to New York, but they all got to play an extra game to pad their stats and put up plus their quarterbacks. So I think that, but again, Mendoza probably is going to be the first player taken in next year's draft unless Tennessee drafts an edge rusher. I mean, unless Tennessee keeps the first pick, which I know they beat them being Cleveland today, so they probably won't. They probably won't have the first round pick now. But those teams will probably end up drafting Mendoza. And I don't know how good he is. I don't think he's worthy to be a first round pick. I digress. But y'all put yourselves in a position that y'all put yourselves in a position where y'all can't draft a quarterback for the next 2 years. Daniel Jones is a free agent. I think he only 1 year contract, so y'all don't have to pay him. What y'all probably would do now since he hurt himself, probably franchise tag him, honestly. Because not, it means if y'all go on the next year with AR as y'all quarterback, giving up all y'all draft picks, y'all really just put yourselves in a complete a complete bind. A complete bind. Hey, shout out Chris once again for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. CJ is top 20 quarterback. Caleb is better in his second year. Caleb is playing better his year 2 than CJ's year 2. And CJ has been up and down. I ultimately trust CJ over Caleb. I'm not going to sit up and lie. Caleb is playing better than CJ right now because CJ started off rocky in the beginning of the season and was rocky tonight. Like I said, he was rocky. He played phenomenal, I think, in the first half. He was rocky in that third quarter. And I know that's what like I said, shout out to Christopher Super Chat Love. Definitely appreciate that. That's what Jeff Huff was alluding to earlier when he was bringing up Nick Caley. That's what Jeff alluded to earlier when he had brought up Nick Caley. And I agree. Like I was saying this, I was saying this as the game was going on. I was like, especially in that third quarter, I'm like, man, there's something got to shake offensively. Like we got to get something. I mean, we really miss Tank for one. Cause I do think Tank was. I think if Tank was around, that helps open up the passing game. I do think that Tank being I don't expect Tank to play this year. I think the best thing we'll do is see Tank next year, and I don't know exactly how much Tank is going to be. How much Tank is going to be Tank? Is he going to be like the Tank that we seen in 2023? I don't know, but I do think that Tank help this offense. He's going to help out Nico. He's going to help out Higgins. He's going to help out. He's going to help out CJ most importantly. But I think just him being on the field and the plays because he's a playmaker. The plays that he makes is going to help this offense out and help unlock this offense a lot. But they also need somebody to run the football, and also I agree with everybody. Y'all know how I feel about Nick Caley. I'm not impressed with Nick Caley. Nick Caley has yet to impress me. Nick Haley has yet to impress me. He might. I think some of the sequence of plays he had in that second Jacksonville game in that fourth quarter, he did some things. I actually think he did some things in that Bills game too. I ain't gonna lie. He actually did some things in that Bills game in the first half that was nice. But like that little end around they tried with Noel to get the first down when Noel got picked up and slammed. I didn't like that play. I didn't like that play. Them keep on like now they out here doing this this adult not Dalton Schultz this K Stover tush pushing that they keep on doing that. But I do think offensively, like I said, I think I like the fact that they tricked everybody, myself included, with the Dari play. Because I think that everybody thought that they about to throw the football because what you call is in. They gave the football to Dari, and Dari goes in and gets a 5-yard touchdown. I like that. The two shots that they took to Nico, when Nico flipped the field, those two shots were big. The two shots were big. They were huge. Those are big. Those huge. Also, the one shot that he took unnecessarily to to Kurt. Like that was an unnecessary shot. Like, but because they were saying Chris Conworth was saying on the broadcast, like the Texans probably should go get a couple yards here and put themselves in the kick a field goal. But they took a shot. Now again, what you call it came free, but CJ and him wasn't able to connect. You didn't have to take a shot there because they opened up the middle. The middle was open. So if you could have did I want like I don't know where Willie Marks was on that play with your tight ends where I have to go back and look at the play, but I do know the middle was opened up. If you was able to dump the football off, you would the very least if they would caught the football and stopped, you've been able to put yourself in field goal range to kick a field goal. And you probably could have got the first down. Somebody would have made somebody miss, do some things like that. They probably would have been able. They probably would have been able to get the first down. Them taking the shot there, I didn't like. Also, bro, the person who I'm sick and tired of on this offense is Kurt. Like this offense is moving and grooving just fine, or maybe not. But the offense that hasn't looked any better since he's been here. Was looking like they looked all year long when Kurt was in up the lineup whenever his hamstring. Like I understand he's a veteran. I understand you trade from all different type of things. I think he's taking away valuable snaps from both, mostly Jalen Noel, but also Xavier Hutchinson. And we've seen Hutchinson make plays last year and this year. This year we've seen Hutchinson make a lot of crucial plays. So I don't think that Kurt should be on the field majority of the time. I think it should be obviously Nico. I think he, I think he at this point right now, this junction has basically took the reins as the second receiver, and then I think you should have Noel and Hutch out there, and those catches and those targets and that time and those snaps, most importantly, that you've given to Kurt need to be split up between Hig and Noel, and Kurt shouldn't be on the field, and Kurt should just be able to get in where he fit in. Kurt should be able to get in where he fit in. That's how it should be. Because them making an effort going out there for Kurt, bro, I don't like Kurt's effort for the most part. I don't like his effort. I I just think that he's just out there because he's a veteran. They trade for him, and obviously like Kaylee and them like. But that's just me. That's just me. That's just me. But it is what it is, man. Hey, man, appreciate everybody that pulled up. Man, the Texans won 20-10, 5 straight games. Five. Five straight. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Five straight games. Now the Texans are 8-5 in the seventh spot in the playoffs. In the seventh spot in the playoffs. One game behind Jacksonville. Jacksonville is right there staying in the way. I know they got Indy again. They got Denver. They got the Jets. And they got Tennessee. That's their 4 remaining games. I don't know where. I know they go to Indy. I think they go to Denver. They got the Jets and they got Tennessee. I do think that Indy loses a game. And Indy. I do think that Jacksonville loses a game that they're not supposed to lose to. I think now I think Indy is out, especially without Daniel Jones. I think they're out. So my whole thing of that game, the last game of the season being for the AFC South, is this is about to be extremely similar. It's uncanny. This is about to be extremely similar to CJ's rookie year, where it's the Texans needing Jacksonville to lose, and needing Jacksonville to lose at Tennessee. Well, I think this time they're at Jacksonville. Need them to lose to Tennessee to win the division. Now, if they lose to Denver, that changes things. Because they lose to Denver, the Texans have the conference tiebreaker over them. Texas went out and Jacksonville loses one game. The Texans have the AFC tiebreaker because the Texans and them will have the same record, same record. They split their head-to-head matchup, and then they will also have the same division record because that means if they only lose to Denver and they beat both Indy and Tennessee, that means that them and the Texans both will have they both will be 5-1 in the division, and the Texans went out. But if they happen to lose the game to Indy, They happen to lose again in Indy or lose the last game in Tennessee. The Texans have a better the Texans have a better divisional record, but the Texans will have a better conference record because two of the games that you lost was it two? Wait, three. I'm sorry, three of the games you lost was against because the first two games you lost were to NC opponents, and then you lost in Seattle. But the game that's like the game, it's always gonna go back to that first game against Jacksonville. That's the game that when it comes to division, there's more. If the Texans don't win the AFC South, that's the game that's going to that's the game right there that is going to be the stinker. That's going to be the game. That's going to be the ugly stain like we talk about, just like in college football, like the ugly stain on the resume. That's going to be the that's going to be the loss to Florida, like if you UT, or the loss to Florida State if you Alabama, like that. That's going to be the ugly stain on your resume. You know what I'm saying? That's the ugly stain on your resume to use. To use a college term. It's going to be that. It's going to be that to Jacksonville. That's what's going. That's game that lost to Jacksonville because that's the difference between you right now and Jacksonville. Because if you would have that, you would have the same record as Jacksonville, and you would have swept them. Actually, no. If you had that, you have a better record than Jacksonville. I'm sorry. If you had that, you have a better. If you would have won that game, you have a better record than Jacksonville. So instead of you being 8-5, you 9-4. Instead of them being 9-4, they're 8-5, and you have the sweep. Or even if you won that game and then lost the 49ers game. Just say you won that game and lost the 49ers game. It's flipped. Y'all have the same record, but you swept them. So that's the game that if the Texans don't win the division, ultimately it's going to be the reason why they didn't win it. That's the game going to keep them out. Hey, shout out to JR Fit Coach for the Super Chat love. Ooh, definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. There is nobody I fear in the playoffs. Could this be the Texans' first Super Bowl appearance? Shout out JR Fit for the coach for Super Chat Love. Definitely appreciate that. He's saying that he doesn't fear anybody in the playoffs. Could this be the Texans Super Bowl yet? This is the most wide open AFC I've seen since since 2015. 2015. That's that's the year the Broncos uh won the Super Bowl. You said the Patriots. Nah, Mahomes second year, nah. Because I mean the Chiefs were a juggernaut. And cause that was that was 2018, yeah. That's the year the Texans lost to Indy in the first round of playoffs. Uh that year wasn't wide open because you still had Tom Brady and you had Patrick Mahomes that was on a tear. Again, that's obviously before Mahomes. I mean, before like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson stepped into the NFL. Obviously, I'm trying to think who else was in that season. The Texans, like I said, the Chiefs had number one seed. Patriots had number two seed. Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger was out there. Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh was out there because I think they won the division that year. Uh, we won the division. Wild card teams was. You know what? I take that back. I take that back. I take that back. This is the most wide. No, I take that back. This is the most wide open since 2017, Deshaun's rookie year, because the AFC was wide open. That's the reason why Blake Bortles was in the AFC Championship game. And Blake Bortles and Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC Championship game, and actually outplayed the Patriots. That season was wide open. I mean, remember Buffalo made the playoffs with Tyrod Taylor. Who else? And not just the Texans, just the NFL altogether. I mean, the conference championship game was Nick Foles with the Eagles, Case Keenum with the Vikings, Blake Bortles with Jacksonville, and the Patriots with Tom Brady. Now, ultimately, Tom Brady didn't even walk away with the championship. It was actually Nick Foles and the Eagles. But that season altogether was wide open. This is the most wide open since then. It's probably more wide open than that. Like, this season is wide open. And so I'm sorry I took so long to pause on to think about that. But like, this season is completely wide open. And you're right. Like, there's no, like, we haven't seen Drake May in the playoffs. We've seen Bo Nix in the playoffs, but do we trust Bo Nix? I don't. I don't trust Bo Nix. As of right now, like the teams in the playoffs, I don't trust Justin Herbert. Don't trust Trevor Lawrence. I don't trust 144-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Those are your division leaders right there. Denver Broncos, Nick Foles is you got Drake May's the number 1 seed, Nick Foles and the Broncos the number 2 seed. Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence is the 3 seed. The 4 seed is 144-year-old Aaron Rodgers. And then your wild card teams is the Chargers at the 5 seed. The next is the Buffalo Bills, and then 7 is us. I'm not afraid. I agree. None of those quarterbacks outside of Josh Allen anyone's afraid of. And when it comes to the Texans and Josh Allen, the Texans defense knows how to play against Josh Allen. Before D'Amico got here, we were shutting down Josh Allen, especially at NRG. We've been shutting down Josh Allen since his rookie year. His rookie year, his rookie year, his first ever playoff game at NRG, and then the last 2 years. So we know how to play against Josh Allen. We do. So, but he's the toughest quarterback. Like I said, Drake May. Drake May's been playing good. I don't trust him in the playoffs because he hasn't done it yet. Bo Nix has done it. I don't think Bo Nix is a good quarterback. And I keep on saying, if CJ doesn't get hurt, it doesn't get concussion in that game, we beat the Broncos, and we probably are talking about having if we beat the Broncos, we're 9-4, and we are talking about us leading the division. So I mean, that game right there. Obviously, Justin Herbert has played 2 games in the playoffs and had 2 complete embarrassments. He's up 27-0 in one game when his team gets 4 turnovers and he can't bring that ship home. And then the last year he gets beat by 20. So he doesn't. I don't trust him in the playoffs either. So yeah, I agree. I do think it's wide open. I think if the Texans get in, this is one of the years that I do think the home field advantage does not matter. However, I'm always going to lean towards home field advantage because I always want to play every game possible inside NRG on Kirby. I want to play every game possible inside NRG on Kirby because I know it's going to be rocking. Especially you have the first ever AFC Championship game in franchise history in that building. You don't think it's going to be rocking? You don't think it's going to be loud? You don't think it's going to be we here, we finally here? You don't think people gonna show up on time finally? I think so. So I say all that to say this might. I don't know if it's the Super Bowl chance. However, I do think the path is laid out and it's very there because one, you got the defense to do it. You got the defense to do it. Man, shout out to everybody that came through here, hit that like button. If you ain't hit the like button already, man, make sure you hit that like button. If you ain't hit the like button, I'm gonna give you some time. Hit that like button right now. I'm gonna give you some time. Hit the like button. Like I said, man, appreciate everybody that came through here, man. If you ain't hit the like button already, man, make sure you hit that like button. I'm gonna give you some time. Hit that like button right now. Already, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody. Hit the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Y'all don't know how much that means to me when y'all hit the super chat love. Y'all really don't know how much that means to me every time y'all hit the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Shout out to everybody hit the super chat love. Shout out to that boy Chris for pulling up. Shout out to that boy Chris for pulling up. Shout out to my cousin Chris. What's up, kinfolk? What's up, kinfolk? What's up, kinfolk? Shout out to my cousin Chris that just said what's up, cuz. Hey, shout out to my cousin Chris for pulling up already. Appreciate you. Hey, what up though? Hey, what up? Hey, bro. Hey, fam. Hey, we ate we 8-5 and we in the playoffs. That's what's up, fam. Hey, that's what's up, fam. Hey, that's what's up. Shout out to my cousin. Shout out to my cousin for pulling up. Shout out to my cousin. Shout out to my cousin Chris for pulling up. But shout out to the other Chris. Indy Chris. Chris from Indianapolis. I don't know if he's from Indianapolis. I don't know where he's from. But shout out to Indy Chris because people been looking for him. People been looking for Chris. People been looking for Indy Chris. We've been looking for the Indy Chris, and he pulled up. So shout out to Chris for pulling up. Shout out to everybody hit the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Hey, we is going to pull up on Friday. Like I said, my apologies. I wasn't able to pull up this past Friday, but we're gonna pull up this Friday. We gonna pull up this Friday, and we're gonna talk about. We're gonna break down the game. It's the Arizona game. Hey, you can't waste this momentum. You got Arizona, and you got Vegas. You can't mess this off. You absolutely cannot mess this off. You can't. You went out there. You've been doing things. You can't mess this off. So you gotta go out there and you have to get the dub. You gotta go out there and get the dub for the next couple of weeks. So you can't mess out. So wait, we're gonna pull up on Friday. Also, hey, I'm glad you said that, bro. Hey, bro, say, man, hey, hey, JDM. Hey, bro, yeah. Cause I was just about to say that. I was just about to mention that. For any college people in here who like college football or just like ball in general. Hey, I'm gonna do something special. I'm gonna do a video about the college football playoffs, mostly because my team is in it. Shout out to Texas Tech, Big 12 champions, first time ever winning the Big 12 championship, and our first time ever winning an outright conference since 1954. We won the border. It was 1950. I'm sorry, 1955. We won the border conference. That conference doesn't exist anymore, obviously. And we had a portion of the SWAC in '94. It was like a 14 tie with Texas Tech, Baylor, and I think U of H. It's like a 14 tie. But the thing is, we really didn't win that conference. A&M had the better record, but A&M was under sanctions, so they wasn't able to go to bowl games and wasn't able to be champions. So they gave the championship. They let them play games. It's kind of like the year when Ohio State went undefeated, but they wasn't eligible to play a bowl game. It was kind of similar that way. A&M back in '94, and it was the last year of the Southwestern Conference, and Texas Tech, Baylor, and I think U of H all had the same conference record, so they split the championship against them. So it was a shared co-championship, but also, like I said, really A&M won that conference title. And then 2008, which was my favorite Texas Tech team of all time, the 2008 Texas Tech team, Michael Crabtree, Graham Harrell. Contrary to what people believe, Graham Harrell is actually the best Texas Tech quarterback, and Michael Crabtree is the best Texas Tech player. I know people won't think Mahomes is, but Mahomes is the best NFL player from Texas Tech. But the best actual Texas Tech player is Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree and Graham Harrell. Those are actually the two best players to actually play at the school while they were playing. Anyway, digress. That's my favorite team in 2018. That team was 11-1, and they split. They were in a three-way tie between Oklahoma, Texas, and also obviously Texas Tech would win the Big 12 South. They wasn't able to go into the actual Big 12 championship game because Oklahoma had the highest BCS ranking, and Oklahoma played in the actual Big 12 championship game, ended up going to the national championship game and losing to Florida. So this was Texas Tech's actual first time competing in the Big 12 championship game and actually winning the Big 12 championship game. Best record in school history because that 2018 that was 11-1 finished off 11-2 because they lost the Cotton Bowl to Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. They lost the Cotton Bowl to Alabama. No, I'm sorry, they lost the Cotton Bowl to Ole Miss. They lost the Cotton Bowl to Ole Miss that year, and so they ended up finishing off 11-2. This team It's 12-1, first ever conference champion, obviously in the big, and obviously in the CFP, the college football playoffs. I'm going to do a video because I have a lot of opinions on what happened today with the CFP. A lot. Yeah, actually, now I agree with you on that. Adrian Peterson is the best college football player I've ever seen. I used to say it's really between AP and Ricky Williams, because Ricky Williams was bad too. AP is the best college football player I've ever seen. Ricky Williams is right there though. Like, and I know AP didn't win the Heisman. Ricky did. They right there. I think I'm a nod to AP. I'm gonna give the I'm saying I'm gonna right there say AP. But Ricky was like Michael Jackson bad. That boy was bad. But conversation for another day. But however, I'm going because I have a lot of opinions on what happened to CFP and also the fallout when it comes to a certain school decide not to play in the bowl game. Sidebar. I think that was childish and immature, and I think that sets a bad precedent. All the presidents they talking about might get set. I think that might be the most damaging one that end up being set if a team doesn't get to the CFP. They just stop playing both. I think now eventually that president is going to end up being set. And the thing is, we've already started down this road by allowing players to not play and play. Players who are not hurt, not injured, playing what they should have been doing. Like, hey, if you not gonna play the NIL deals, the NIL, it should be signed. If you're not gonna play unless you hurt or something, you got to pay that money back. If you want to keep the integrity of the sports, because now you got teams out there playing in these bowl games that are not that's not the team that people been rooting for, and you might be, well, it's the younger players they're gonna play next year. Yeah, but a lot of these teams gonna have transfer kids coming in, so it's still not gonna be the team you see in next year because they got transfers coming in. So I think that might end up setting a bad precedent to it's going to eventually just be just the playoffs. And that's what I guess they've always been in fear of when you insert the playoffs. But they did that to themselves by not having in certain parameters that I'm going to mention to go into the CFP, because there's actually a very easy solution for it. Very easy solution. And I don't know why it's like right there on their face. It's like right there, but they choosing not to do it. I'm going to talk about it in the video. And I don't know if it's going to drop tomorrow. It's going to drop sometime this week. But I am going to drop a video because I have a lot of opinions about it, and I want to talk about it because I need to talk about it. I have a lot of opinions about it. I want to talk about it. I need somebody to talk about it. So I'll talk to y'all. But I'm doing a live right now about the Texans, so I don't want to just bore y'all with college football. But hey, shout out to JMD because he knew I was thinking about Texas Tech. Hey, we in the CFP. Hey, I actually like our chances. I like the matchups that we going to have for the rounds. I like the bowl game because we're going to be playing in the Orange Bowl. So we end up playing the bowl. I think it's a bowl we never played. Now I gotta go back and check the history, but I don't think we've ever played in the Orange Bowl. I don't think because back in the day, Orange Bowls and like those bowls used to be based off a conference. And Tech during the BCS era didn't like they biggest bowl they played in was Cotton Bowl. So like I said, I don't think we've ever played in that. Never played in the Orange Bowl. So I'm extremely excited that we're going to get to play in the Orange Bowl. We got to buy. That was the right decision. They made the right decision with the first like couple picks, and then they really went off the rails. And I have a strong opinions on why they did that and the bad precedents that they end up setting that they shouldn't have set. I don't think Ohio State's winning it all. I think Georgia might be the best team in the playoffs. Honestly, I think Georgia might be the best team in the playoffs. I don't think that Ohio State is going to win. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're on the same side of the bracket that they will face off. I think they will face off. And again, I got a lot of opinions about it. Like I said, I'm gonna break it down. But man, appreciate everybody to pull up. Hey, like I said, beware. Go look. I haven't put it up yet. I'm gonna put a poll up on who should win play of the games. I want y'all to go vote for who should win play of the game because the Texans beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead 20-10. Sunday Night Football, a massive game. Now they're the 7th seed in the playoffs, a massive performance. And we're going to see what this is. This the momentum that we need to roll on to potentially get our very first ever AFC Championship appearance in a game and potentially our first ever Super Bowl appearance. Like, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. Holla.